The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. The apostles said to the Lord, "Increase our faith." The Lord replied, "If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you should say to this mulberry tree, 'Be uprooted and planted in the sea,' and it will obey you. Who among you will say to your servant, who has just come in from plowing or tending sheep in the field, 'Come here immediately and take your place at table'? Will not he not rather say to him, 'Prepare something for me to eat'? Put on your apron and wait on me while I eat and drink. You may eat and drink when I am finished.' Is he grateful to that servant because he did what was commanded? So should it be with you. When you have done all you have been commanded, say, 'We are unprofitable servants. We have done what we were obligated to do.'" The Gospel of the Lord. The reading of this Sunday invite us to make a personal reflection about our faith, about our relationship with God, our Father. At the first reading, we had listened the prayer of Habakkuk. The prophet felt that God remained far of them because they have many problems inside and outside of the city of Jerusalem. And this was because the children of Israel betray their faith and they reject the presence of God among them. They betray the covenant that they had with God. And outside the enemy country, they surround Israel to conquer it and to keep all the treasures, especially from the temple, and to keep the children of Israel to exile. And they did it little after Habakkuk. But Habakkuk, because his faith, he looked for the Lord. He felt that the Lord was far from them, but he looked for him to introduce him, to present before him the situation of his community and to ask him his intervention because they were alone. Because their action, they were far of God, but through Habakkuk, they start to recognize that they have been rejecting the grace of God. In some occasions, we have this temptation too, because when we do our personal prayer, we like to have an immediate answer from God. Especially if we have some problem and we are asking Him for the solution. So we like to take the answer immediately because we speak about sacrifice, but at the moment to suffer, we reject the suffering. So for that, we like to keep the answer immediately, and it's the temptation to reject the God if we don't see any signs immediately. In this prayer, Habakkuk took the answer through a revelation from God. The answer will come, but God didn't say when. Maybe it can delay a little or too much, but wait for it because it is going to arrive and you are going to enjoy with it. But at some time, the children of God needed a purification process to recognize that they can do nothing without God, because He is the protector, He is the Father. And through them we can recognize the same situation in our personal life. We can do nothing without the grace of God, because we are weak. So at this time, the children of Israel needed to recognize the presence of God, because they were rejecting, and because they consider that they can do all things by themselves. But the reality that they had all the violence that the prophet Habakkuk were seeing showed them that the grace of God is needed and is important all time among us. So, but by the time that Habakkuk and the community felt that the Lord remained far, but Habakkuk recognized that only God had the power to increase the faith of the community, to call them back again to Him. For that he went to pray and maybe complain through the prayer, because the people were suffering and they needed the grace of God. So in our personal experience, we know that we can do the same as the prophet Habakkuk. Maybe we feel that God is far of us, but our faith shows us that He really is with us, and He is going to give us the grace that we need, but in the proper moment, because He knows what we need and when we can take it in our benefit, when it is going to help us to increase in our faith, to strengthen our faith. So it's a temptation, keep far God of our presence if He don't answer immediately. But we know that we can imitate the action of the prophet Habakkuk. Look for God, because He is the only one that can have mercy on us. He is the only one who can support our faith, to strengthen our faith. And if we remember some words from the second reading that we listened today, from the letter from St. Paul to Timothy, he remembered us that God the Father had given us the spirit of strength. So we have the resource that we need to strengthen our faith. But as we had listened to from the gospel of this day, our faith is as a seed of mustard. It is small, but it is full of life. So if we have enough faith as the seed of mustard, as this seed can give life and produce a big bush, so our faith can be strength too, but we need to take care of them. We need to take care of our faith, this grace that the Father had given to us, and every day ask Him to give us the light from the Holy Spirit that we need to take care of this faith and remain growing up every day, to give Him glory and to answer according to His will. Applying the word of St. Augustine in our personal life. Give me the grace that I need, and then ask me what you do want.